first of all, there's no other place I'd rather be right now than right here with you. I've been waiting for this day for over 45 years. When we'd be in a position where we brought everyone, regardless of the color or tone of their skin, or their nationality. Every national organization in this country, the NAACP, National Congressman, NIAA, all of them are with us today. All the way from the president on down. 50 senators have signed us Senate petition to me about a month and a half ago that they signed, demanding that the name change. There isn't a day goes by when we don't receive a resolution from city councils, county commissioners, and other tribes, affiliated tribes, every four corners of the universe. So I've had a lot of aha moments, a lot of them, out of my dreams even, that keep us going today. Yes, I was judged in Cornwall when I was 11 years old. They tried to put me in a boarding school. On my way to Watson, I was in a wild rice camp as a little boy, 11 years old. And I got as far as a place called Motley, Minnesota. And I told the bus driver and people that came to get me that I had to go to the restroom. And I crawled through the window of the bathroom and ran all the way about 15 miles from there back to the wild rice camp. A couple of weeks later, they picked me up again. I was put in a jail with adult inmates. One of the guys was Wild Bill Sinclair, a man that raped 4 of his adopted children on the White Reservation. They call him Wild Bill Sinclair. I was put in a cell with him, and I was put in a cell with another person that robbed a bank. Wild Bill was sentenced to 65 years in Stillwater, and the other one was sentenced to 45 years in St. Cloud. And I remember my mother and my father coming to court, along with Catholic priests, and Father Valerian, Father Constantine. And they were wanting me to apologize because I wasn't going to church on Sunday. I hated school. I just hated it. You know, I couldn't believe that, and I used this, talked about this a lot, I just could not believe in my mind, you know, that some guy in high black patent leather shoes, high heel shoes, little white nylons up to his knees, breeches on, white ruffled shirt, 1 week, rouge on his cheeks. One of later had wooden teeth. But they tried to convince me that this was my father, the father of our country. My father was a First World War veteran. He was drafted along with hundreds, thousands of other Native people during the First World War. He didn't go there because he wanted to fight for a so-called democracy here in America. He wanted to get out of the brutal educational system. That's why he went. He was only 15 years old. And he fought all the battles. He used to tell us about all the battles he was in. And he was finally captured. He was gassed, him and hundreds of other prisoners. And it wasn't enough for him when the Allied forces come in and machine gun. He was shot 17 times. But he crawled under the dead bodies along with several other people, and they found him that way when first they were coming along and shooting those that wiggled a little bit still alive. The Germans were shooting him in the head. And he survived that. And supposedly totally disabled. He was gassed. My father put on a lot of weight because of his gas in the system. And he used to be able to, as a little child, I remember being able to crawl on his body on the lake. You could push him down and he'd come forward right back up like a bottle of gas in his system. And even though he was judged totally disabled, he fathered 7 girls and 5 boys. I was the middle child. But I refused to apologize to the church. I went back to school and went to church every Sunday, received my communion and all that. I could stay free. They tried to put me in Boys Town, Nebraska. I would not relent. I would not tell them I was sorry. I just wanted to get out of that school. And my mother, I remember her crying in the courtroom, begging me to apologize and come home to go to school every day. I would not do it. So I never graduated from the 5th grade. And I'm happy because I did. I went to a pressing meeting. I might be head of the BIA or some tribal government if I continued to go to school. But I went to Red Wing. I was supposed to be there for just a couple of months and review my case. And by this time, maybe they had an opening in some place called Boys Town, Nebraska. But that never happened. For truancy, I spent 3 years. I was handcuffed between Wild Bill Sinclair and this other armed robbery. Dropped off, went off at St. Cloud, a 45-year guy, and the other guy, 65 years. They dropped him off in Stillwater and handcuffs. Unhandcuffed, that's another mile. Basically, my introduction to know about being an Indian. So the first night I was there, went up to the door, they threw a blanket over me. As a house father student, watched, I was beaten up, kicked, and had my nose broken, bumps all over me. I knew what it was to be an Indian. I could hear the slurs and the dirty names that it was called. And to survive, I teamed up with a young man. I knew the power of being a coalition to work with other people. Because the blacks in that institution were getting beat up just like me, I met a young man named Leroy Cotton. He was short, his shoulders were wide in the length of his body. He got it the same way I did. So we teamed up. They beat Leroy, they had to beat me too. They beat me, they had to beat Leroy too. I looked at weights, I did everything I could. I went to a discipline company. I was there for 13 months. They would never dump the coal in the coal bed. They would dump it a block and a half away. 8 sections of coal, 20 tons in each section. And we had to get in there and we'd race to see who could empty their section first. And always fun. That's where I got my physical education. I knew I had to be tough to survive. So I had a lot of moments, and I spent close to 16 years of my life in corrections, in solitary. I knew I was Indian. I knew when anybody said anything bad about Indian, but they had to fight me. Because of that, I always ended up in solitary confinement. And my aha moment was one day I heard an Indian guy whistling outside the cell. We had little people. They take your blankets, mattresses away, you lay on a cold cement slab all day, and maybe 10 o'clock at night they give you a mattress. The only light is a little peephole. And I heard somebody whistling, "You are my sunshine." Peeked through the hole. It was a full-blooded Indian. Pretty soon he started calling my name. "Is there a ClydeBellecourt here?" I wouldn't answer. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I thought the guy was berserk or something. In prison, but the hell you whistling, "You are my sunshine." There's no sunshine here. But I went and all of a sudden I said, "Yeah, I'm here." He come and peeked. We're looking at one another's eye. My biggest awesome moment in my life is when he asked me to be co-chief of the first Indian Studies program in America. Long before it became popular to have Indian studies in colleges and universities, and now tribal schools and tribal colleges, we had an Indian studies program. But him and a white caseworker figured it out. Every Indian inmate in there was alcohol-related crimes. They were in there for the lesser crimes, but they were doing more times than rapists and murderers. We thought maybe we can build some pride in these people. Teach them about their culture, teach them about their ceremonies. Maybe they want to do something about their life and get out and stay out. We made license plates for the state, twine, farm and training. Nothing that could help us when we got out. And I cut a deal with them. I said, you let me out of here, put me back in the dormitory, television, all those trustee life, put me back in the power plant. I was studying to be a first-class engineer, then steam engineer. I had a year ago to get my chief license. They finally came and got me. And we recruited 82 Indian inmates out of 120 to join the first Indian Studies program in America. He gave me books like Black Dog Speaks, The History of Ojibwe Nation, William Whipple Warren. I read them over and over and over. Prior to that, the one thing they give you when you're in solitary or deadlock is the Bible. I read those books over and over, and all of a sudden I wanted to do something with my life. We started that program. The average Indian inmate time was up to 6 years. In a 2-year period of time, we dropped it all the way down to 3 years. Developing plans, taking courses out of the University of Minnesota. We talked them into giving us a drum. Superintendent, we had to have a drum. And started learning about our beautiful songs and prayers and such. Wanted to do something. We said we could help people in here, we could do it out in the streets. But nobody would listen to us. All the old timers that pick up and give away food baskets and use clothing and do social service, they didn't want to deal with the police problem. They didn't want to deal with unemployment, poor housing, racism. That's what we said we would do. When I was elected to be the chairperson, first chairperson, chief of the American Indian Movement, they asked me, well, how are you going to accomplish all these things you're talking about? Black people, they got millions marching with them. Look at us. After 6 months of intense organizing, the only people that come were women and children who suffered the most. We knew that 75% of all the energy resources left in America was still on our land. We knew that 90% of all the fresh water left, particularly right here, is in this northern watershed. And we knew if we didn't protect that and didn't take care of that, we would surely perish as a people. So when they asked me that question, how are you going to do it, I was kind of stunned. I didn't know what I was saying. I think the Creator must have got inside me and told me what to say. He said, how are you going to do that? I said, we'll do it through confrontation, politics. And I said, what the hell did I say? They asked me, what does that mean? It means you go down to the police department and somebody's shot, they're put in the trunk of a car and driven around town all day long. And you go down and see the mayor, and you see the police, and you knock on the door. They don't hear you. If they don't hear you, you knock the damn door down. But when you go in there, you got to know exactly what you want. And you got to relate it to your treaties. You got to talk to them on a nation basis. That's when this movement started. I had all kinds of aha, all kinds of defining moments in my life. And we took this mascot issue on, we knew we had to do that. Because we had a shooting gallery out, the only plaza in Minneapolis called Apache Plaza out here in Columbia Heights. And a rich man, his name was Robert, his last name was Plank. He had a shooting gallery there. You can go in and put your little baby, a little boy, a little girl, they put a cowboy hat on them, they put them on a little horse with bucks like that. Then a squirrel runs by on the screen, boom, knock the squirrel down, right? Get a little bitty plastic boat or something. Then another one comes by, it's a rabbit, boom, knock him down. Get a little bigger cries. The deer goes by, knock him down. get a small teddy bear. And all of a sudden, here comes an Indian. On the screen goes by, and you kill that Indian. Teach these little boys, 3 or 4 or 5 years old. You shoot and kill that Indian, you get a big teddy bear. You had them going all over America. We done that. And we started hearing, we knew about the mascots, we would take that on. Eliminate all the high schools in Minnesota, moved on to the colleges. My sister here, not too many years ago, in a place called Salmon River, Idaho. Salmon River, home of the fighting savages, they call them there. You got a big screen where you go into town, you see a big screen that miles ahead of you. And when you get there, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You got a picture of an Indian with a word on it on home of the fighting savages. That's where this Weaver that shot it out with the FBI and his wife was killed there. That's the kind of people there. They all have 3 or 4 rifles in the back of the window of their truck. We went into a place that full. Those children, they brought their children with them. Filled up all the aisles in school. Probably close to 3,000 people came here that night. I walked in, my sister here, and Mike Haney and Sid Crew, another student from the University of Illinois. Father on Richie Doc Way, who was where woman, and we took them on. They, like 2,000 other teams in America, high schools, colleges, universities, said like Dan Snyder, will never give up the name. We'll never give up the name. Every single one of them have done that. And when we left town that night, they were chasing us down the highway. So I had to put my sisters through that. Because these pickups, trucks with these guns and rifles in the back window chased us about 30, 40 miles out of town before they couldn't catch us.